All right, we're live on YouTube and Facebook for the first time ever.
Hey,
Hi, Tom. You're right.
I'm good, Mark. How are you?
Well, it's been a hell of a. Well, it's just every day's fucking nuts, basically.
Going, isn't it? It's going quick, and it's we're getting closer. We're getting closer.
Yeah. Well, God, how long has it been since we spoke? About 2 weeks. I don't know.
Two weeks, 2 or 3 weeks, something like that. You know what? I wanted to bring up with you. So I saw. Well, actually, we should mention we've got two things. I'll do a little number very quickly, and then we'll talk about the product we've done together. So you mentioned Back to the Future.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, hang on. I watched it last week, and I was supposed to send you. I put it in my Telegram channel.
Yeah.
I was watching it, and I don't know if you've ever mentioned this one, but when he comes on with a guitar, right above him, We the People. And I sent it to you. Yeah, and I was like, brilliant. I found one.
Yeah, it was a great reminder. I've seen that one. I think I might have maybe months ago mentioned to Charlie or something, but that was a great reminder because I haven't seen the film for quite a few months. So I was like, Mark's seen that independently of, because we've never spoken about that. So kudos, man. That was brilliant. Great find.
Well, I still haven't found. I'm really sorry. I've not had a minute, but there is a brilliant breakdown video. I know I've promised this to you about 5 times.
Oh yeah, send me that when you get a chance. Send that to me. Yeah,
I will. I will remember.
Yeah.
I just literally had no time.
Hello,
everybody in the chat.
Hello.
There's loads of people in the chat. I'm just saying hello.
Hello. Another one that popped into my head when I saw that about We the People. So Back to the Future 2, and I just got it on my out of time cooker clock. So months ago, my power went down. And I never bothered adjusting the clock because it's just another nice reference. So I've got my real clock on my phone, and I've got the cooker clock. But I just saw it just as we were getting ready. So I was like, good reminder. And it said 1917. So Back to the Future 2, when old Biff and young Biff are in the garage and they're talking, and they're talking about the almanac, and he's like, Butthead or whatever he calls him, is like, listen, and he says, what I want that old man, he chucks the almanac in the back. He's like, no, he brings it back, and then he turns on the radio, says, look, and they're listening, I think, to a horse race. Anyway, no, sorry, not a horse racing. I think it's an American football game. And one team is losing. He's like, no, look. And he's like, yeah, they're lost, old man. And then the final score, right at the death, is 9-17. 1917 is the year that JFK was born. And President Trump famously kept referring to the Spanish flu, which I think they say started in 1918. He kept saying, 1917, the Spanish flu, and he kept doing it over and over again, which is a direct reference to JFK and the year of his birth. But it's there in Back to the Future. So, and I got it on my out-of-time cooker clock just a few moments ago before we started the episode. So I thought, I have to say this one to Mark. So,
the more you look into it, and I don't know if we've talked about there's some amazing photos. I have mentioned this before of Ivanka Trump and the husband, whose name I can't remember,
Jared,
in these really amazing photos that are from another book from the past, which is similar to the Adventures of Baron Trump. What basically, if you look at that, you look at the connections with Nikola Tesla and Trump's uncle, John G. Trump.
Yeah.
I'm just repeating this for people who haven't seen this before, but John G. Trump read Tesla's paper on time travel in the 1920s and went to meet him, and that's when they started working together.
Yeah.
Because Tesla said when he was between the arcs, he could see all of time and space. And there's no question in my mind. You know what? There's no question in my mind that the Trump family are time travelers.
Yeah, they are.
They are definitely time travelers. And I've been really interested. You know what I did? I've only had
Excuse me.
I did take a deliberate day off the other day, and I just switched off everything. And I was drawn to the story of Howard Hughes.
Right.
So I did a ton of research on Howard Hughes. I went and watched the DiCaprio Scorsese film, which actually tells you nothing, but they rewrite history. I mean, I'm an aviator, I'm a pilot as well, so I loved it from that point of view. But the real truth about Howard Hughes is that he was basically one of the richest men in the world.
Yes.
Very quickly. He was doing stuff in Las Vegas. He had a film lot in Las Vegas that was bigger than Warner Brothers in California.
Yeah.
There was underground stuff there. Area 51 connected to all of that. Hughes was making millions and millions from defense contracts with NASA and the US military. There was, there's pictures and things of UFOs, flying saucers in the back of lorries that were going in at the regular sites back then.
Right.
And Hughes was definitely involved in this. And, he locked himself away for a long period of time.
Yeah.
He ran his whole empire from a suite in a hotel in Las Vegas. Yeah. Apparently Hughes did dislodge the mafia in Las Vegas.
Did it?
Yeah. That whole area, Nevada and everything, is very, very deeply connected with the secret space program, with alien bases, with possibly child trafficking as well. And Hughes was big, but he was nowhere near as big as the people that are currently being taken out. And he was paranoid about that. So I think it's really, people should really look into Howard Hughes's connection to all of this, because he had his own army of spies. He had his own army of femme fatales. Huh. And he was doing the same stuff against them that they use against us, and how they got so much power through blackmail and secrecy and finding things out and honey traps and all that kind of stuff.
Right. Okay.
Which is absolutely phenomenal. So The Aviator would be interesting to do some numbers on that film, because, as soon as I thought of that, I was thinking of Ricky Gervais's piss takeout of Martin Scorsese last year at his speech at where he was talking about Scorsese being around children's rides at Disney, and then saying, no, he's the size of a, and he was really close to the bone with those guys, because they all sat together like a little mafiosa club. It's really it still annoys me, Tom. I watch these films and I'm like, you're fucking
it's
one of them.
I mean, it's like, it's more than a shame, but it's shocking, isn't it? It's crazy. I mean, you couldn't really write it, but nevertheless, that bit you say about Jared and Ivanka, I don't know. I've not seen that. You'll have to send that to me if you would.
Again, the problem with me is that I've been researching this for so many years that it all goes in, but I don't keep a pile of filing.
I've never heard of that with those two. I didn't know that, but that's I'd love to see that. And that I met her. Got a picture with her, and
I know you did. Yeah,
beautiful.
Somebody just asked me why I haven't used the fork yet, so I've come to get the fork.
The tuning fork, yeah.
Yeah, my kids were playing with it earlier. I've got a set of them. Look, can you see them?
Yes, very good.
They are amazing. But
when you said about time travel as well, Mark. When you said about time travel and the Trumps being time travelers. So it's interesting you say the numbers on that. So I did the numbers on this a while ago, but you brought it to my memory. So John Trump, or John G. Trump, but let's do John Trump, comes to 135.
I have a time machine, by the way.
Do you?
Yeah, look. You see it?
Oh yeah, TARDIS. Yeah. Doctor Who. Which also comes to, so John Trump comes to 135, which also comes to Ivana Trump, so the mother of the first three children. But when you do John G. Trump, so you add a 7 to it, a G, takes you to 142, which comes to Joseph Smith is one person with it, but it comes to I am Nikola Tesla, and you've got Nikola Tesla and John G. Trump interacting, doing time travel, and going back to the Future. Emmett Brown, who is Doc in Back to the Future, Emmett Brown comes to 148, and he says, "Oh yeah, November 5th, 19. What was it? Was it 19th? Yeah, 1955." He says that's the year he invented time travel. Now, 148 comes to Donald J. Trump. So again, it's another soft reference to Donald Trump is a time traveler. It's just everything is there. It's amazing. It's amazing. And you talk about Howard Hughes. I asked Christopher Nolan about this in a live BAFTA meeting about 2, maybe 3 years ago. You can still listen to it on. It's online. Sorry.
Who did you ask?
Christopher Nolan. You've
met Christopher Nolan?
I've met Christopher Nolan very briefly, but I got.
Now listen. Michael Caine told me never to drop names.
Not a lot of people know that.
Not a lot of people know that.
So I met Christopher Nolan very briefly, but I did get a chance to ask him a question he was doing a BAFTA honorary thing in London in Piccadilly, and I asked him about the Howard Hughes movie that he wrote. He wrote a script for a Howard Hughes movie, but it got postponed because of The Aviator that came out. So he wants to revisit it. He's actually said in his opinion, he believes it's the best script he's ever written for a film.
Well, that's a big thing for that man to say.
It is. He thinks
I think Howard Hughes is one of those untapped subjects for films. The same as Nikola Tesla, hardly touched. And Christopher Nolan's the only one I know that's put Nikola Tesla in a film. We talked about that before. The Prestige. David Bowie. Hi, I'm Nikola Tesla. That was awful. I'm live as well. Can't believe I did that. Anyway, I'm going to eat a strawberry. I'm never far from a strawberry.
There you go. Eat a strawberry, buddy.
So you haven't managed to get the headlines today, have you?
No, I haven't. I will. I'll get out there and I'll get the headlines.
I'm sorry, everybody, but I dropped this on him at the last minute. I didn't even confirm we were doing it. But before you go on, I just want to tell everybody about your course.
Yes, please do. Yeah.
Lots of people ask the question, how do I learn to do this? Tom's so quick. Sometimes, I say that as well. I mean, no offense by it.
And you're quick,
Oh yeah, but sometimes I go like this. What did he just say? So you put it all in a course now.
Yes.
And the link is on the screen if you want to get it. Go and have a look at it. But it's well worth getting.
Yeah, it's brilliant. It's a product we've worked on, and we're really proud of it. And there's an audio book, and I slow it right down. So I do it with my friend Ben, and I do the episode with him, but we're talking as though everyone at home is listening, and I talk to the audience, the viewers back home, and it gives you time to write everything out, to do your own name, your own personal numbers, to do important names and places and people that are important to you, which is how you learn it. If you can match the big galactic picture, but also get your own personal numbers, personal Easter eggs are revealed, then it becomes meaningful to you, And there it is. Yeah, Trumpology. So have a look, everyone, and go over to Psych.Club, say hi in the comments. But that's it's a great product that we put together, and there it is.
Yeah,
and, $17. So 17 for Q, and we wanted to make it affordable and accessible for as many people that want it. So enjoy it.
It's worth pointing out that you've been doing your channel for a long time, and it's a labor of love, isn't it? This stuff.
Yeah, it is. It's kind of my life. I mean, we've all got these restrictions that we're under because of the thing that's out there, but my lifestyle basically consists of doing consultations, decoding, picking up the stuff I get, doing episodes with great people like you, and then I do my own decodes. I like to decode the newspapers each day, front and back headlines, because I find that they're kind of big personal messages that they're putting out. So I that's kind of my, and I get on the bike, I do my Emmett Brown, go around, the park or wherever. And that's kind of my lifestyle right now. So it's a labor of love,
You have you got a pair of sunglasses? Could you do the sunglasses? Where we're going, we don't need roads.
We don't need roads. Oh, I'm waiting.
Money! Get your kids! Money! I love that.
I can't wait for Back to the Future 2 to become a reality, when we can do hoverboards and time travel and all of it, I can't wait for that stuff.
I think it's coming. I had an interesting day today, and I don't know if there's any numbers in this, but I went to the organic market, and this lovely woman came up to me and went, "You're Mark?" And I went, "Yes." She said, "You're on YouTube?" And I went, "Yes, I am." I'm stood there with my carrots and my celery like that.
Yeah.
And,
is that the first time that's happened to you?
No, and it's not about that. It's about the thing. The thing is, it's happened quite a few times, but and they're all wonderful. But
I had it about 3 weeks ago, actually, my first one, and I was like,
well, I actually every time I go outside the house, I expect somebody to throw things at me, but so it's always a bonus. But this lady, she was a
Toby. If you're listening, Toby, hello, mate. There you go.
Hello, Toby. She was a nurse from Dublin,
right?
And she came up to me and she said, I said, Dublin, that's interesting. What are you doing here? Because it's like 2 hours down the road.
Yeah.
And she said, well, I'm telling everybody not to get the V.
Yeah.
I know this is a scam. There is no pandemic.
Yeah.
She was telling me all this, and I said, are there many of you? And she said, yeah, there's a lot of us. Yes. And I said, and are they all being quiet because they're scared of losing their jobs? Yes, but I could tell you what, you could feel and also the market itself, which literally a month ago, 90% masks, now is 60%. It's going down. You can see it. But the fear in the eyes of the mask wearers is still there.
Yeah.
And then I got a phone call from a friend who's a telecommunications engineer in Ireland, and he ran me up because he knew. I said, if you ever hear about 5G, you got to tell me. And he said, yeah, it's been rolled out for the last 3 weeks in Ireland. And I was like, fuck, this is not good. But I don't know. JC thinks it's going to be a good thing.
I think it is. I think with all of it, there's a good and a bad version of everything, really. And it's
Well, you know about the Covfefe.
Say again.
Covfefe.
Yeah.
Which is supposed to be like a magnet that neutralizes the harmful effects and turns it into a good thing. Yeah. But the thing is, we are all guessing.
Yeah. I just trust President Trump. I just don't believe. He said months ago, I want no more death. So I don't think he wants to let anything kind of, for the masses of people that are just, trying to get by, he doesn't want them perishing. There might be natural things that would have happened if we weren't in this time. But in terms of all these extra things, I just don't see him. Well, I know he wouldn't allow that. I just don't see that,
Yeah, and I also don't see why we'd have gone through all of this stuff, which is really all of these lockdowns and everything were designed to save collateral damage.
Yeah.
Not against the V, it's against them taking out the cabal and us being safe from retaliation and false flags and all that kind of thing. Yeah. Why would they go through all of this?
Yes.
To get to this end game that we're approaching, and then just slap us with 5G at the end of it? It doesn't make any sense.
Exactly, it wouldn't. I mean, I've heard saying that the good version of 5G is a good technology that will help human. That's what I've heard. Talking of the V, I just a few moments before we came on, I saw a video clip of Dolly Parton, and she's singing, and she's saying the V word, and she's saying V, and she says it 4 times. So it's like Jolene, 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 but she's saying V instead.
No, she's not.
Yeah, she is. But I did the numbers on it.
Mm-hmm.
I thought, I could be incorrect on this, but I think somewhere along the line, I thought she's had a good connection with Trump. I might be mistaken on that, but I just watched it to see, and people like, oh, Dolly the sheep, and anyway, I did the numbers on it. So V comes to 57. Okay. Times that by 4 comes to 228. 228 comes to the best is yet to come. So I was like, okay.
I know a very good poem called The Best Is Yet to Come.
I do as well, but not a lot of people know that.
Not a lot of people know that.
So when she's doing it, she's also there's other comms because he's been President Trump's been talking about the V and letting
I know. Well, the people are asking in the comments, why is he pushing it?
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that? So
I've heard different things, but I actually saw I did an episode with Tarot by Janine, who's genius.
Oh, she's brilliant. Yeah,
she's incredible. So I did an episode with her just last week with Bryce Watson from Esoteric Atlanta, who's brilliant as well. And then I saw an episode where Janine spoke about the V, I think shortly after, and she said, what's the truth of it? And she basically did her work, and she said there's a whole bunch of them out there, but there's some that will do you harm. You need to be careful, but there's also some others that could actually do you good, And she said, well, the clue to it is to see which one President Trump is promoting. I'm not even sure which one. And she said, as a summary, she said, I'm not going to go near them, and I'm in that camp as well. But because there's so many people out there that I must have it, then it could be she thinks from her work that there could be some good ones. So I'm not promoting them, but if people are getting them, then maybe they're going to get the good ones, but we don't know. I've heard people, close to home say they've had adverse reactions and things like that. So hopefully the truth of all that will come out soon. There could be other comms as well that he's talking about with it, because the other thing, V also comes to 57, as I mentioned, and that comes to Tesla. So Tesla technology.
Well,
is
JC did a pendulum on the 5G rollout, and that's what she got, Tesla technology.
Exactly. That's what I've heard. So
I wasn't going to tell anybody, but she just put it in the comments, so I'm allowed to now.
There you go. Good on you, JC. Yeah.
All right, JC, is that okay?
Yeah.
I hope I'm not in trouble.
So we had a fun episode.
But no, JC's also said Russian roulette, and I was thinking the same thing, because
that's what I was. Yeah.
It is like Russia, and the fact is nobody knows exactly which one's which and everything else.
I know.
I'm pretty damn convinced the whole thing is spiritual. It's an 8 billion piece multi-dimensional chessboard, and everybody's decision to do whatever they do is based upon having access to all them, because nobody's being forced to have it, really.
No.
Some people are being coerced, but not being forced. There's no gun at anybody's head.
Yeah.
It's just, there's pressure, and then it's down to you to decide what you're going to do. And I don't know if I told you this story, but one of my old mates on Facebook sent me a message, and I was really surprised by this. He's from Yorkshire, and he's a straight talker, and he's always
lad.
Hey, he's always told it straight, and always said the government's full of shit and everything else.
Yeah.
And he sent me a message a couple of months ago saying, Matt, I've learned a lot of things from you, lad, but fuck it, have the vaccine. That's what he told me. And I wrote to him, I said, please, God, don't do it. I don't want your last words to be, Mark Attwood was right.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I really don't know. I mean, anybody who's saying, my gut is, don't go near it.
Yeah.
But I think it's all down to everybody's individual choice, because everybody's got free will.
Yeah. I think the truth of it, what you just said about how it's, a massive chessboard or 8 billion piece or whatever you said, and it could be, depending upon what people need to receive and what is in their reality and what needs to be, what is the best short, medium, long term for them to progress. So who knows? Maybe it's even so advanced that they know exactly who everybody is and what one they need. I don't know. I don't know, but nothing is out of the ranges of possibility with all of this. So, well,
I'll come back to something I've said since I started the channel. And this is not for you. This is for anybody watching it. If the bad guys are in charge, we'd already be dead.
Yeah, exactly.
So everything is good. It's just that we don't know exactly why it's good until we've got retrospect on it.
Exactly. Hindsight is a beautiful thing.
Yeah. And you can't die, you're an eternal spirit. So eat some more strawberries.
You can't what? Say that last part about it.
Eat more strawberries or tangerines.
No, what before?
Oh, look, somebody's going to say I'm Illuminati now. Look.
But you're on the right side. Huna says that's the good side. Right eye's the good. Oh, now you're. Oh, now I can't talk. But you, what was that last bit you said just before the strawberries? You said about dying in tunnel. What did you say?
I don't know. I don't pay attention to what I say. I can't remember.
Okay. Was it one of those? We just switched it out. Okay.
Yeah, might have done. But no, it's all good. It's all good, mate. And I've hardly let you speak about numbers this week. I'm really sorry.
That's right. I pumped a couple out at the beginning. Oh, you know what? There's one that was quite fun. So, also as well, I did the numbers on Howard Hughes. So Howard is 69, which comes to Texas, Atlanta, Smith, checkmate. Hughes comes to 68, which is market, which is stock. Add them together, you get 137. 137 comes to 17th. Yesterday was 17th. It was St. Patrick's Day. There was a lot of numbers in regards to St. Patrick's Day, and I've put some of those on my YouTube on Psych.Club. But another one that just came up. It came up yesterday, but I posted it today. I was in Regent's Park. Regent's, as I've said before, comes to 88. So Trump Park, I like to call it Trump Park. It's my local park. And I'm bobbing about, and I do a couple of videos. But then there's a nice scene. There's a bunch of lads playing football, and they've got a ghetto blaster or a sound box or whatever, pumping out, which I believe was a Stone Roses track. I'm pretty sure it was Stone Roses. There's a chance I might have got it wrong, but I think it was Stone Roses.
I love the Stone Roses, and I love what Ian Brown's doing on Twitter. Anybody not seen Ian Brown on Twitter, go and check him out. It's amazing.
We've got to get him on. Yeah, get him on.
I'd love to speak to him.
Yeah. And so I was filming it, and I was talking, and so there's lads playing football in Regent's Park. The sunset is coming down beautifully. It's like glorious kind of red. It's like Knight Rider. So I put this one on today, Baywatch. So one of my, well, he's not really a pal, but someone I know and communicate with sometimes is David Hasselhoff. So David, if you're listening, shout out to you, buddy. But I was comparing it to Knight Rider because of the, you know, the beginning credits of Knight Rider with the beautiful sunset. You'll see it in the video. Then I go over, focus on the lads again and mention Stone Roses. So I was like, what a great time, you know, you got a beautiful sunset, lads are playing football, Stone Roses on in the background, and you can hear it on the video. And then I do the numbers on Stone Roses, and Stone Roses comes to, Stone is 73, which comes to Egypt, comes to number, comes to Joseph. Roses comes to 76, which is Ripple, Sydney, Thomas. Add them together comes to 149, which comes to inauguration. And it also comes to 1st of April. And I've had a lot of things about 1st of April in the park, actually, when I do it, because there's a part where I like to see the sun come down, and I get done quite a handful of them in the last few weeks. But the whole thing of April 1st equal, well, 1st of April equals inauguration. And it was another confirmation of with the Stone Roses. I had no idea what Stone Roses came to, but I just discovered that one this afternoon, well, this evening when I posted it, filmed it yesterday. And it was just, yeah, it was like, that's, you know, just a lovely touch, you know, it's like, there you go. You know, look forward to inauguration, April, well, 1st of April. 107 has been saying about that, and he was right about the whole thing of January 20th, kind of the only person really that was. So
it was the only real one right about Biden. We were all, yeah.
He was right. Yeah, he was, wasn't it? Yeah. He was right about all of that, you know. And so I'm like, yeah. And the other thing about April 1st, so if April is 56, which comes to light, comes to Nolan as well, interestingly enough. First is 72, comes to money, comes to Monday. But if we talk about April 1st, just April 1st, comes to first light, you know, and it's like, what a beautiful time, you know, first light. And it says in Batman, you know, the night is darkest before the dawn, you know.
Hang on. I thought we were going to go. I thought we were going to get through a whole episode without mentioning Batman. No,
I held off for you, but I thought
not going to happen today, is it?
I'll bring it out, you know. So again, it's just there, you know. It's like it's pointing to that, you know, and let's hope so that it is, you know. And I'm more than happy to take, you know, 107's knowledge and be like, yeah, let's focus on that point, you know. First light, April 1st. The other thing about it is, you know, he says April Fools. April Fools comes to 1, 2, 3. One, you know, easy as 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3 comes to silver plus gold. So it's got, you know, all of those things. The word fools comes to 67, which is reset. Again, I said April was 56, which is light. So light reset. April Fools, 1, 2, 3. You know, easy as 1, 2, 3. It's all there. It's pointing to that point. And again, you know, the things I've had in the park when I do these little mini clips. And those numbers come up, and inauguration 149, you know, 1st of April. It's you know, that's what it's pointing to. That. That's what it's pointing to. I think there could be some very big things. Well, JC said it. You know, she said about, you know, the 22nd of this month.
For a long time.
Yeah, that looks very probable. The other thing as well about that is we've already mentioned, so we're gonna go back into Batman. First part of Dark Knight. Heath Ledger does the bank job, and they all get taken out, and then the bus comes in.
Yeah. And
I think driver, if I remember rightly, is 76 as well. So bus driver. Oh, interesting enough, yesterday, 1776. So apparently it was the 17th yesterday. 76th day of the year was yesterday as well. So 1776. Add them together comes to 93, comes to Nazareth, Kingship comes to Bushnell. So I've known that one for a while, but someone pointed it out. Penny, my friend, she pointed it out to me that 17th yesterday, St. Patrick's Day, was the 76th day of the year. So 1776. So all these things are really bubbling to the surface now. But in the Dark Knight, the opening scene, they do the bank job and they drive out on the bus. The bus that goes out is a number 22,
Mm-hmm.
the golden 22. You've been talking for a long time about 322.
2-2, yeah.
Now that's
Which
a reversal. That would be a to do something. Then will be a reversal back at them. In the Dark Knight Rises, the American football scene, when the pitch implodes, and there's a box office. There's a director's box office there. Well, yeah, that blows, and that number, the box is 322 again. So perhaps 3 March 22.
Well,
I see a lot of things perhaps happening on the 25th of March. I think when we're going into March 1st, I think Easter Sunday, April 4th, I hope will be a massive one. If President Trump's back in on the 1st of April, then we're basically I see it as we're home and dry. Lots of big things could happen. Even the
there's a lot of that's not far away, right?
It's not.
And I think that there's fatigue out there with the waiting, right? I see it in the comments, I see it in Telegram, I see it in Facebook, and I understand.
Yeah,
I get it myself. I had a big long chat with Lee the other day, just going, "Oh, so I'm fed up with this," right? Because it does happen. You do get
Hemington Dawson.
Yeah, Hemington.
Yeah,
and we have a chinwag every now and then, and sometimes you just like, it's tiring. This has been hard work, right? And it's the not knowing thing. And I've always said, try to enjoy the journey. But some days it's difficult to enjoy the journey because you're like, gee, how long is this going on for? It is just, but it's such a big job. And I keep saying, if you're going to arrest millions of people without the other guys knowing, you've got to keep everything under wraps. And we are living in the weirdest time ever. And you can't deny, anybody watching this can't deny. I mean, you saw the CGI Biden tape the other day. That was just hilarious when his hand comes in and front and behind the microphone. So, for whatever's going on, that's definitely CGI.
Yeah.
Right. So, and that's been put out there, and that was put out on the news channels. I mean, it's like, that's nuts, right? So they're showing us, right?
Yeah.
All the signs are there. You've got Putin tonight. I saw asked Joe Biden out for a fight. I mean, he wanted to have a debate with him on live TV or online live, which would be amazing.
Yeah.
Right. And the anti-America Russian relationships things being escalated in the mainstream.
Yeah.
To this potential nuclear thing, which I've said is a potential thing for quite a long time.
Yeah.
And somebody was asking me why would they go to that length today, and I said because. And this is a 107 thing as well. And I agree with it, that this needs to, this whole thing that's happened to the human race, once we've got rid of it, it has to be etched into everybody's psyche so deeply that we sing songs about it for the next 20,000 years and we never forget it and we never let it happen again.
Exactly. That's exactly it.
But Trump's coming in early April.
Yeah.
That's like a matter of days away.
I know, it's not long. It's like Charlie says, it's hours away. It's not long, is it? It's right upon us, and it is, because we're preparing for the next 1,000 years as a minimum, and like you said, 20,000 years. But it's the 1,000 years of peace. It's the millennium. This is, it's beautifully hidden for such a long time, and but now we're here. It's the thing that we all came to Earth at this time round to witness it, to go through this, and we're all waking up at different stages. But once the whole world is turned and flipped, it will be. Could you imagine the gloriousness of the whole thing? It's just going to be astronomical. It's going to be out of this world, because it is. It's the thing that we decided to sign up to when we said, "Yeah, I'll come to Earth," and I'll witness this. And it is. It's bigger than any of us can possibly fathom.
Well, that's the thing. Trying to picture it. I've got to. It's like I can see it in my mind's eye, but I can't quite touch it.
Yeah.
And even my son, my oldest son, has been seeing 17 everywhere.
Yeah.
And he's like, Dad, I've seen it like 50 times today. 17. Yeah. And he's 17 on the 17th of the 7th this year. It's all a bit auspicious. Yeah.
Wow. 7. He's got 7. 1. Yeah. 1771. Yeah. He's got the Q. He's got a bolt of lightning 171 in there, which is also the revaluation. Amazing. And talk about the numbers in the newspapers. Yesterday there was one about revaluation, just came out to 138, which is Donald Trump. It was the front page. I did the numbers on it, 138. And that's been happening a lot. We're there, we're touching distance, we're just right there on the cusp, Well,
I hope so. I know you've not got long tonight, neither have I. We've got to Yeah, we've both got to go and do things. So I think we've had a good little chin wag today, and I really appreciate it. Sorry, everybody, it's a bit shorter than usual, but it's just a crazy time at the moment. Very little time, and I dropped this on Tom at the last minute, and here we are, and we've done it. But please go and have a look at his Tom's Trumpology numerology course, which is in that link below the screen, bit.ly/Trumpology, and support Tom's work and also learn how to do the numbers. I'm going to have to listen to it myself because I still don't know how to do them properly. Or I can't do them at your speed anyway.
Yeah, it's just A to Z, 1 to 26. You just add up the letters. Do it for your own name. Do it for your family, important places and people, and then you'll start to build up your own repertoire, and away you go. Oh, and that's the other thing. So Trump equals 88. That was what I was going to say. So you mentioned Putin. So Vladimir, I did this a couple of weeks ago. Not had a chance to say it, but Vladimir comes to 88. So we know that he's with Trump. Also, Moscow comes to 88 as well. You know.
By the way, you just accidentally did that sign with your hand while you were doing that, and I did the Illuminati thing. Now we've just given trolls like a million things to.
There you go. But everything's being flipped. We're doing Trump signs, you know. So everything is. I think I did that with JC when I was talking to her actually last week, and I did. I don't know. Oh well.
I do this a lot. I do this a lot, but I'm not a Satanist.
Well, President Trump does that all the time, doesn't he? Does it?
Well, to me, it means A-OK.
Of course, it does. The thing is, everything on the board is inherently good. When they started to get free will and started to mess around, and the possibility of evil to exist, that's when it started to get dirty and murky and contaminated. But everything is literally getting flipped. The other thing that was interesting yesterday was a 180. So on the board, so if you do March 17th, the 17th, as I said earlier, is 137. March is 43. So 43 plus 137 comes to 180. So yesterday was a 180, and there could have been a lot of things that, you know, perhaps happening physically behind the scenes, maybe consciously as well, that we maybe, you know, weren't aware of. But a 180, nevertheless, on the board in terms of numerical value, did take place yesterday with St. Patrick's Day, which is the 17th of March 17th. So everything is going to get flipped. Everything.
Good. That's exciting. I agree. So look, it's been great to see you, mate.
You too, buddy.
Everybody, thanks for watching. Sorry it's a bit shorter than usual.
Thanks, everyone. Come to
Don't forget to click all the links and stay in touch, especially by email, because I've already lost one channel.
So you're back to adventures in a meat suit.
No, that's gone.
But your YouTube is it still called Cosmic, or I thought I saw it as Adventures in a Meat Suit again?
Well, it's just my backup channel. It doesn't matter what it's called, really. It's just another YouTube channel. We set it up as a backup. It's got about 8,000 subscribers, but we've lost 22,000. But we're still going. We've got lots of
come and follow Mark Attwood in a meat suit. Come and follow him on YouTube. I love saying that. I think that's a nice little pun. Adventures in the Mark Attwood suit, you know. Come and remember the other thing about Mark Attwood, 141 equals Tom Bushnell equals Looking Glass equals plutonium, which is what they needed to power the flux capacitor at 88 miles per hour, and then time travel happens. The flip happens, you know. So anyway, it's been a pleasure, buddy. We'll do it soon.
You too, mate. Go and get your papers, and everybody see you later. Thanks, Tom. See you later, mate.
Guys. Cheers, Mark. Bye.